Have you ever wondered why we procrastinate even when we know action brings progress? It's an interesting conundrum, isn't it? This, my friends, is the paradox of procrastination. It's a peculiar human tendency, this habit of ours to delay tasks, put things off for another day, despite being well aware of the benefits that come from taking action. We all know that progress isn't born from idleness, but from relentless action. Yet we often find ourselves trapped in the snare of procrastination, choosing temporary comfort over long-lasting achievement. It's a battle of the mind, a tussle between the desire for immediate gratification and the understanding of future gains. This paradox is what we're going to delve into today. We'll explore why it exists, how it impacts us, and most importantly, how we can overcome it. Because overcoming this paradox is possible. One person who defied this paradox and turned dreams into reality is our protagonist, John. John was no different from us. He was a chronic procrastinator. In the heart of the suburbs, there was a young lad named John. As a child, he was full of energy, always brimming with ideas, dreams, and ambitions. He wanted to be an astronaut, a scientist, a writer, and sometimes even the president. He had a bright mind, and his dreams were as vast as the universe. But as he grew older, he started to develop a habit that many of us are all too familiar with: procrastination. John always had an excuse to put things off. The project he was supposed to start on Monday would invariably be pushed to Tuesday, then Wednesday, and before he knew it, the week had ended. The book he wanted to write always remained an idea in his head. The business he wanted to start was always a plan on paper. His dreams were still there, but they were trapped behind a wall of procrastination. Every time he thought about starting something, his mind would conjure up a myriad of reasons why he should postpone it. "There's always tomorrow," he would say, convincing himself that he had ample time. His procrastination was not due to a lack of desire or ambition. He still had a spark within him, a burning desire to achieve his dreams. But his habit of putting things off was like a roadblock, hindering his progress. It was as if he was in a race, but instead of running towards the finish line, he was stuck at the starting point. John was like a ship in the harbor, full of potential, but never setting sail. He was a dreamer, a thinker, but not a doer. His life was like a movie stuck on pause, waiting for the right moment to press play. His dreams were slowly fading into the background, becoming mere whispers in the wind. His potential was being buried under a mountain of excuses and delays. But a turning point was soon to arrive in John's life. One day, John stumbled upon a quote: "Procrastination is the thief of time." Those words struck him like a lightning bolt, searing through the layers of his complacency. There he was, a mirror held up to his life by 7 simple words. Suddenly he saw his procrastination for what it truly was: a thief that didn't break into his house, but into his life, stealing precious moments, hours, days, and even years. It was a thief that robbed him of his potential, his dreams, and his growth. This realization shook John to his core. It was as if he had been sleepwalking through life, only to be jolted awake by the stark reality of his situation. The weight of the wasted time bore heavily on him. It was a burden he had unknowingly shouldered, a chain he had unwittingly bound himself with. But now he saw it. He saw the thief, and with that vision came the resolve to fight. He vowed to himself that he would no longer be the victim of his own inaction. He decided to fight his procrastination habit. He realized that every moment he delayed, every task he pushed to tomorrow, was a victory for the thief, and he was done losing. John knew it wouldn't be easy. Old habits die hard, they say, but he also knew that every journey begins with a single step. And so he made a plan. A plan to reclaim his time, his life from the clutches of procrastination. He started small, setting achievable goals. He focused on the process, not just the outcome. He celebrated small victories and learned from failures. He reminded himself every day of the thief that lurked in the shadows of delay, waiting to steal his time, his life, and so began John's journey to conquer procrastination. John knew this wouldn't be an easy battle, but he was determined. In his fight against the procrastination beast, John took up arms with a few powerful strategies. First, he realized the importance of clear goals. He understood that vague or undefined goals were the perfect breeding ground for procrastination. So he started setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals, or what he liked to call his SMART goals. This gave him a clear path to follow, a precise target to aim for, but even with clear goals, the journey can often seem overwhelming. That's where John's second strategy came into play, breaking tasks into smaller parts. He realized that climbing a mountain is daunting, but taking one step at a time makes it manageable. He began to chunk his tasks into bite-sized pieces, making them less intimidating. Each small victory gave him a sense of accomplishment, fueling his motivation to keep going. John also understood the power of rewards. We are, after all, creatures driven by incentives, so he began to reward himself for each milestone he achieved. A little treat here, a short break there. These rewards served as his motivation boosters, making the journey more enjoyable and less of a chore. He also learned to manage his time effectively. He started using tools and techniques like the Pomodoro technique, where he would work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. This helped him maintain focus and avoid burnout. John also began practicing mindfulness, bringing his attention back to the present moment whenever he found himself drifting off. He found that procrastination often stemmed from focusing too much on the future or dwelling in the past. By staying in the present, he could concentrate on what he could do right now. And lastly, John cultivated a positive mindset. He realized that negative thoughts and self-doubt were significant contributors to his procrastination habit. So he started practicing positive self-talk and visualization techniques to keep his spirits high and his motivation intact. Slowly but surely, John was winning his battle against procrastination. With each passing day, John was becoming more productive, and success wasn't far. John's story wasn't unique. He was just like you and me, battling against the invisible forces of procrastination. But what set him apart was his resolution to overcome this hurdle, to break free from the chains of inaction. He started small, taking baby steps. He began with simple tasks that he had been avoiding for a long time. He paid his bills on time, organized his workspace, and started waking up early. These might seem like small victories, but for John, they were significant milestones on his journey towards success. As he started to enjoy the taste of accomplishment, he gradually moved to more challenging tasks. He started working on his business plan that had been gathering dust for months. He made calls he had been dodging, he met clients he had been avoiding. Slowly but surely, he began to realize the power of action-taking. With every task completed, John's confidence soared. Each achievement propelled him to take on bigger challenges. He was no longer the man who would postpone his dreams for tomorrow. He was now the man who was living his dreams today. His business started to take shape. He was signing contracts, meeting deadlines, and delivering results. His clients were happy and his business was booming. John's story was becoming a success story. It wasn't an easy journey. There were days when he wanted to give up, days when the old habits tried to creep in, but he held on. He reminded himself of the power of taking action, of the sweet taste of accomplishment. John's story is a testament to the transformative power of action. It's a story that emphasizes that success is not a result of mere dreaming, but of doing. John's story is not just a story of overcoming procrastination, it's a story of transformation, of growth, of realizing one's potential. It's a story that reminds us that we are not defined by our past, that we have the power to change our future. John had done it. He had conquered procrastination and achieved his dreams. John's story teaches us an invaluable lesson. It's not just about the triumph he achieved, but the journey he undertook. It's about the battles waged against the procrastinator within. The dragons of delay and the monsters of maybe later, they were all vanquished by the power of action. Remember, the war against procrastination isn't won in a day. It's a series of battles fought every minute, every hour, every day. And the weapon, action. Consistent, relentless action is the key to unlocking potential, the bridge between dreams and reality. So ask yourself, are you ready to seize the day? Are you prepared to take that first step, to make that first move? The road to success begins with a single step. A step taken today, not tomorrow, not someday, today. So what are you waiting for? Stop delaying and start doing. Your success story is waiting to be written.